Hello, beautiful people. My name is Rodney. Welcome to the very first episode of Elevated Essence. Um, my name is Rodney, and we'll be here curating a space where we can explore how to live holistically, authentically, and with intention. I started this series because honestly, I've been where you might be right now, trying to balance everything while feeling overwhelmed, stuck, and sometimes like you're failing. Between navigating the healthcare system, maybe you're a caregiver like myself. I started this series because honestly, I've been where you might be right now, trying to balance everything while feeling overwhelmed, stuck, and sometimes like I may be failing. Um, Between navigating the healthcare system, being a caregiver for my mom after her stroke, and balancing my own needs as a naturopathic medical student, I've learned that this journey isn't easy, but it is possible. So if you're ever felt like you're spinning your wheels, trying so hard to see results, you're not alone. And today I want to shed some light on how your holistic journey and why your holistic journey might feel stuck, and more importantly, how you can move forward with clarity and confidence. Let's start with something we can all relate to: frustration. Maybe you've tried morning routines or yoga classes, meal prepping, and yet you still feel stuck, like you're missing something. Here's what I realized. A lot of the advice out there isn't designed for people like you and I. It's not for the person juggling caregiving, a demanding career, or financial stress. It's not for the person who wants to live holistically but doesn't have the hours to meditate or journal every day. The truth is, the problem isn't you. You're not stuck because you're lazy or incapable. You're not stuck because you don't have the tools. You're stuck because the tools you've been given don't fit your life. And that's exactly what we're going to change. Let me share a little bit about my journey. A few years ago, I was operating very much so in survivor mode. I was starting medical school while trying to support my mom after her stroke. She He had a stroke back in 2019, and I was working multiple jobs at the time and still trying to live this idealized version of wellness. I was bartending, I was doing DoorDash, and odd jobs, whether I was working as a courier, delivering and picking up packages and supplies and distributing them from point A to point B to make ends meet. I thought if I just worked a little bit harder, maybe if I woke up earlier, meditated longer, or journaled more consistently, I feel better. But instead, I felt burnt out, I felt disconnected, I felt frustrated, and ultimately I felt like I wasn't good enough. The turning point came when I realized that wellness isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things for you. This shift changed everything for me, and it's why I'm here. Because I want to help and make the shift happen for you too. So, how do you start moving forward? Here's what I worked, what I have found has worked for me. Before you do anything else, stop and let's take a collective deep breath. And ask yourself, what's really holding you back? Is it fear? Is it perfectionism? A lack of time? Whatever it is, acknowledge it without judgment. Awareness, as we all know, is the first step to change. So how do we simplify that approach? Let's let go of the idea that you have to do everything all at once. Start with 1 or 2 practices that truly feel good to you. For me, that was yoga. I first was introduced to yoga, let's say back in 2010, and at the time it was more so just a way for me to stretch, so I thought, to supplement my workouts. I was on the rowing team in college, and I used to do CrossFit, and so thought it was a good way for me to stay flexible and agile within some of the sports I participated in. And my last year of undergrad, I actually took it as an elective, where kind of opened up my eyes to the depth of the practice. I started to learn more of the philosophical aspect of yoga, so tapped into the understanding of the chakra system and energetic work, some of the mythology behind the poses that are incorporated through some of the practices, as well as what it means to live and operate along the 8-limb path, which we can get into at a later date. But that introduction and being exposed to the different modalities that can be accessed within yoga, whether it's breath work or a meditation practice or the physical asana, or just learning how to sit with stillness. When the pandemic happened, I was able to lean on that understanding and develop a practice that was unique to me or felt good in my body. So I began slowly with just at night before bed, lighting a candle with dimly lit lights, and just taking a moment to just sit in stillness. Life was very chaotic at that time. My mom had just gotten out of her first stage of rehab, and so we were in the home when the pandemic started, and so navigating a new disability. And at the time prior to my mom's health challenges, I was actually living in Chicago and starting a new career, and was taking steps towards starting a graduate school program, master's program. And I think I had been so used to being on the go for so long and performing and being busy, to where I didn't realize I wasn't given an opportunity to fully decompress and process some of the experiences that I had undergone over, I would say, about a 2-year time span. So in a sense, I guess I felt, I guess you could say, I felt that the pandemic, although it was horrific and a lot of challenges and despair was happening around the world, there's a part of me that felt like the goodness of God and the greatness of God, Allah, stopped the world for me to heal. And so with that, I took the opportunity to be present within my body, to get into my body. So I used the candlelit, dim room, my mom's house, and I just kind of sat there and did body scans, and ultimately taught myself how to meditate and experiment with different breathwork practices. And all that is to say is that having those moments of stillness, of silence, of solitude, I was able to carry that with me as life began to life, as the years and the days went by or went on after that time period. And then when things opened up, I joined a yoga studio and I started to practice more regularly. And then I ultimately did a teacher training and got certified as an instructor, and I've been teaching since then. So find that thing that is true to you, that speaks to your soul, your spirit, your body, your essence, and lean into it. Take a moment to reflect on what has worked for you in the past, what has allowed you to find your center, what has brought you peace in moments of sanity. So with that, I have found that my yoga practice and eventually a dedicated meditation practice truly grounded me. So find what works for you. Don't worry about the trends or what's hot on the market at the time or what your neighbors are doing. Sally down the street, it's not your business. Find what feels good for you today. And I'll leave you with some parting thoughts. Keep it simple, keep it flexible. Use a notebook or notepad, your iPad, tablet, or any of the various apps that are out there. And Old Faithful sticky notes to track your progress, to hold yourself accountable. And if something isn't working, tweak it. Give yourself grace. You have the right and freedom to do so, to make adjustments as needed, as your days change, as your circumstances change, as you learn new and more evolved ways of being. Progress isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up consistently. We all know Rome wasn't built in a day. Rivers aren't carved into the size of mountains overnight. Caves are not dug into the earth in an instant. It is quick to think with society now, we are often quick to have this microwave expectation of change, of shift, and it's often the little things, the moments, the micro acts that are often orchestrated to catalyze change. So, with that, now is your turn. Take 5 minutes today and ask yourself, what's the one area where you feel stuck? Write it down. And if you're comfortable, share it in the comments below. I love to hear what you have to say and offer some advice where I can. This is just the beginning of Elevated Essence. In the next episode, we're going to dive into how to prioritize your needs while caregiving, something I've had to learn the hard way. Salam.